How's everyone doing today? It's your boy Dog TV. That's another day of Gossip TV. Today we're going to be reacting to Akash, as they call him, the Indian Will Smith, because what Jada Pinke's been doing to Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, Akash, if you guys don't know this Akash guy, he's a comedian, Indian comedian. Go and look him up. His wife's been saying crazy things in the past. Let me know in the comments if you want me to react to the past post as well. I'll react to it. But this is the most recent that stuff happened. So let's see how crazy she's getting this time around. Yeah, she needs to stop talking. That's what she needs to do. But anyway, let's roll the clip.
And now having performed there doesn't feel intimate. It feels like you're looking into outer space or so many people. But when I was in the audience, I was like, this somehow still feels intimate, but it's big, and it just feels like it means something. The Rockettes are here. It's like a New York City landmark. This one feels like the one. And you know, it's crazy. My wife, when I was going broke, she was making a vision board, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I don't know why. I thought it was too good to do that. Like,
no, were you guys married at this time? Or
no,
just
we're
dating?
dating.
Okay, this is dating. You broke on her couch, living
Yeah.
off of her.
For a little while, at this point, we're in a shared one bedroom. She and I have the living room. We put up a wall, and then there's a guy who has the bedroom. Shouts to my old roommate, Case. He's
This
the
is
best.
so great.
But it's just me and her and our puppy in the living room with the French doors. So that's our bedroom. And I couldn't even afford that.
So she's looking out for you. She's believing in you and your dream.
I remember them days, man. I was living in I think it was a 3-bedroom house, but for the guy split it into a 4-bedroom, 2 rooms upstairs, 2 rooms downstairs. Yeah, man. It's like you cook, you come back, and you know when you make like chicken stew and your stew gets cold, then when it gets cold, normally if anything is missing from it, you will know. I come back home from work and I'm seeing a dip of a chicken missing, like a chicken leg. Because when the oil freezes, like it forms a little thing in it. Someone's gone into my pot and opened up my pot and actually taken my chicken from my stew. You know, I'll buy food, like I put bread in the fridge. The slices are going missing, because when I take bread, like when I open up a loaf of bread, normally I leave the top, because the top means the bottom. But for some reason, if someone goes into it, they will tamper with it. So I know when people tamper with it, because I flip the top upside down and I leave it in there. But whoever goes in there flips it back how it should be. You know, I ain't got OCD, but it was annoying, man. So I mean, you know, I respect the lady for living with the guy, because not a lot of ladies would do that. Not a lot of ladies would need. These are ladies say, oh, you brought me in here to suffer. I don't want to be suffering, you know. If you're not ready, if you're not financially ready, then I don't want it, kind of thing. But you know what, fair enough. It's starting good. Let's keep listening though.
Dreams.
Yeah, I mean, she's stressed, but like, she's like, I'm not leaving. Basically, she's like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know I want to be with you. I want to marry you. You're my guy. You're my man.
Now, did she know how broke you were at this point?
Yeah. I was very transparent about it.
Okay, so you didn't like lie to keep her.
No. I don't. I would rather be honest and everybody leave than be phony and, you know.
Yeah, and stay.
Yeah, genuineness is something I strive for. I'm not saying I'm the most honest person, but that's what I strive for. But then I remember she made a vision board for me, and she put Joe Rogan on there. She put Radio City on there. She put one other thing that didn't happen, but I don't care. I think it was the Comedy Cellar, and I was like, well, who cares? But Radio City's happening. Joe Rogan has happened twice, and then I think she might have put Netflix on there. So we'll see what happens with this one. I don't know. You know, we'll see.
Fingers crossed, man. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know you need to thank her, right?
All the time. I buy her nonstop things.
I know. I see her. I love her, by the way.
She loves you.
I love her. I think she is so kind and genuine. And
Well, first off, let me address the things that he was saying. First off, what she just said, kind that's debatable. Okay, for you to say someone is kind who just talks the way this lady talks while married, crazy to say she's kind. Well, now if what you're saying is true, it sounds like this is only if this is true. Y'all gotta remember, this nigga took a break. He could have came up with something to try to save his image. We don't know. If what you're saying is true, are you telling me she's treating you like this because?
Exactly, because what she's saying online, Because in the past, I remember him saying that when he was broke, she left him, and they got back together again when he had money. So I don't know what he's talking about, because she went back to her parents' house. So he's probably saying this just to save face, to be honest.
She took care of you? Because that's what it sounded like you just said. It sounded like you just said you was broke and y'all was sharing an apartment. Was she like the main provider? Because if that's the case, what you're saying, then it sounds like she's getting back at you or something. And that's a theory I have. It's just a theory. That she's getting back at you if this is the case, but that's only if what you're saying is true. Because I thought she got with him when he had money. But I don't know the full information. All I do know is that she is playing sock and bobber with your testicles, like mentally.
I love that she talks whatever she wants to talk about. She pops that at whoever.
Yeah.
But there's something special about that, and you're really lucky.
I agree.
You're really lucky.
No, it got me in some hot water, but it's fine. Like, it was good for me to go through that and be like, oh, that's all noise.
All of
None of that matters. Yeah.
Yeah. And, for people who are listening, they might know, but it's like a different audience. Like, I didn't realize in the space that you function in, podcast world, because you guys are very, very famous. I didn't realize, people were giving your wife a hard time for standing up for you or having an opinion.
No, she said shit that if I said it, everybody would say it was a joke. And she and I because we've only had sex with each other, she and I have a relationship where it's like, I don't give a what you say, she doesn't give a what I say. I have her location, she has my location. Every time if you look at 90% of her TikToks, they're on our couch. Like, she don't go nowhere without me. So I'm like,
whatever.
That's crazy that you think that matters. I was like, first off, what she said was half true. They are not. First off, it wasn't fully true, actually. It was completely not true. No, nobody going at Akash because his wife defended him. They're not going at her for having an opinion. You know what they're saying? They're saying that Akash is a simp who's all right with his wife going on podcasts talking about another man's, talking about frat guys, running through frat guys, popping her punani all day. She been popping that monkey all in college. That's what they're talking about. You married a lady that you claimed is a virgin, and she was talking about popping that whatever on.
That's so true, man. She said she was popping her Nunu in college, but when both of them met, apparently both of them had each other's first. I was like, huh? The math's not mathing. But hey, you know what? Let's keep listening.
For college, I say these things, it's a joke. She say these things, it's real. You are a comedian. Is she a comedian? And first off, do we have evidence of you running around saying you was sleeping with hookers all day? Later, yeah, I was down the street and I was sleeping with 5 different hookers. First off, as a comedian, I wouldn't even take that as a joke. I bet it. Well, you was? I'm gonna have to hear the punchline. I'm gonna have to hear the punchline now. Yep. Because if you just stated, that happened then. Comedians still jokes, well, they jokes are based off of truth. In reality, I thought.
Whatever you say, I don't care. I know you. But the internet just ran with it and made it a thing. And at first, it really fucked me up.
I wanted to ask you, how did you really feel? Because I can't ever gauge, because you are a comic. You're so good at this. You do have thick skin.
Yeah.
I have seen, meaning
no,
for the most part, the success that you have had. I don't know. I don't feel like things really faze you like that. So I couldn't gauge.
No, I was
if
phased.
It really
I was deeply phased.
But what hurt you about?
It's just they're saying it about your wife, and I think the stuff they say about me will make me insecure. But when you're saying this about my wife and you're calling her all this vile stuff, people were messaging my mom and her mom saying she's a whore, she's this, she's that. It was like, yo, this is crazy how far this has gone. And everything she said, y'all are chopping up. And I've probably done this with 1,000 famous people, so I don't knock the people who did it.
Sure.
But it did let me, I think God does everything for a reason, and I think for me, this was God's way. Because this is how I found out I had some level of fame.
This is recent.
Yeah.
So you're just realizing you're famous.
I didn't know, because people would be like, what was your I made it moment? I was like, I haven't made it. What are you talking about? And now it's like, well, when the whole world called my wife a whore, I realized I'm doing okay.
That you made it.
It's literally just the other side of the park. Over the main road, up the big hill, and then another 10 minutes, and we'll be home.
Did you just pretend that the internet calling your wife this thing because she's running around saying these crazy things on the podcast, this means you're famous? Now let's get one thing straight. To me, you are famous. But let's get another thing straight. You're not no A-list. You're not that. What happened was the stuff she's doing is so extreme, and you had that back and forth with Myron. Y'all had a viral moment, and then Myron set his eyes on you in Schultz, and it is forever beef. And guess what? He's looking for you. He was looking for you. Guess your lady said F it. She said F it and said, I'm gonna just say words and I'm gonna say crazy things. That's wild. I just found out I'm famous. You just found out you're famous because everyone's talking about your wife. That don't mean you're famous. That don't mean you're famous at all. Well, I guess by the definition of famous, you can say if everyone knows.
Yeah, I think he was talking. What he was saying wasn't making sense because, yeah, you know what? You guys need to actually see the video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to record the past her clips of her saying crazy things, because you're selling out arenas as a comedian. Of course, you know you're famous. You're multi-millionaire through. It's not like you're multi-millionaire because you create a business. You're multi-millionaire as a comedian. So, of course you're famous. I know what he's talking about. I think he probably rehearsed what he was going to say. You know what I'm saying? But let me know in the comments what you guys think. It's your boy, Hey Dog TV, and I've been there, Gossip TV.